There is Nintendo platforms that haven't had any games released officially on modern-day Nintendo hardware. There is 4 platforms that I would like to see games from on the Nintendo Switch 2. These platforms include Color TV Game, Satellaview, Virtual Boy, and Nintendo 64 DD. Now, whether there is enough decent games or not for those platforms to justify re-releasing entirely is another story. But I will be going over the games on the more obscure Nintendo platforms that deserve to be more accessible on the Nintendo Switch 2. And with that being said, let's take a look at what games I picked. Only released in Japan, with many different models of the console, released between the late 1970s and early 80s, the Color TV game was one of the best-selling consoles of its generation. Depending on what model it was, there was variations of a Pong clone, variations of a racing game, and variations of a Breakout clone. Yes, there is already other ways to play these types of games in general on modern hardware, but I think it would be interesting to see a Color TV game collection on the Switch 2. And it would also be cool to see a wireless paddle controller of the Color TV game on Switch 2 released alongside it. Satellaview is a satellite modem edition released for the Super Famicom in Japan in 1995. There was not an equivalent add-on for the Super Nintendo, but we have not seen Satellaview games released officially on modern hardware. I think they should incorporate Satellaview games on the Super NES and Super Famicom Switch Online apps, similar to what they did for Famicom Disk System games on the NES and Family Computer Switch Online apps. Anyways, here are the Satellaview games I chose. The Virtual Boy is an early virtual reality console released in 1995 that only displayed games in red and black. It ended up being a commercial failure, discontinuing less than a year after its release, with none of its games being officially re-released on modern hardware. With Virtual Boy, there's not enough decent games to justify a Virtual Boy Nintendo Switch Online app on the Switch 2. So instead, they should release them as standalone games that you can buy outright. But I think there's really only one game worth re-releasing, and that's Virtual Boy Wario Land. Though not necessary, it would be kinda cool to see a wireless Virtual Boy controller for the Switch 2. The Nintendo 64 DD is an add-on for the Nintendo 64 that used magnetic discs, released in Japan in late 1999. It was also planned to release in North America in 2000, but was cancelled. It later discontinued in Japan in early 2001, ending up as a commercial failure, with the games released for it being inaccessible on modern hardware. For Nintendo 64 DD games, if they were to be on the Switch 2, they would probably be included with regular Nintendo 64 games on its Switch Online app. Similar to what I said about the Satellaview games being on the Super NES and Super Famicom Switch Online apps. Here are the games I picked for N64 DD. Yes, I know the Switch 2 Joy-Cons can be used like a mouse, but it would be a welcome bonus if they can make a wireless N64 mouse for the Mario Artist games. Well, I don't think any of these games are likely, but I guess you never know if Nintendo would want to release them again. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching this, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below any games that have been stuck on older consoles that you would want to see on the Switch 2. and feel free to subscribe if you want to be notified for future content.